Hola! Hello! Diagwich, salut! 안녕하세요! This is Riki from rikilikemagic and Shibby says hi! Shibby. So my idea for this video came from the fact that I had a pretty tough month this month, and I think I only had a pretty tough month this month because of my own brain rather than the fact that bad things happened, because bad things did not happen. Very good things happened. I got a little preoccupied with things that stressed me out or something. And what's kind of lame and a bit cringy to say is the reasons why I was feeling quite stressed. It is pretty cringy, but I promise myself to be as honest as I can, especially for something like this. The reason that I've been feeling quite stressed is just stupid things that I couldn't let go of. Like it's so stupid when I say it out loud. Just say it, Rachel. I was losing followers on Instagram and losing subscribers on my YouTube channel and etc. And for someone who works so hard at what she does, that hits at the ego a little bit or a lot. And then I would notice that I'm like, well, I actually don't care. On a meta level, on a big picture level, I don't care, but I felt like I should care because that's what I'm trying to cultivate and nurture. That's part of my job now, is to build, and it didn't feel like I was building. And quite literally, it was 3 or 4 weeks of this feeling of like, well, I mean, what's the point? You get getting really obsessed with checking things like that. So that ended in a bad day of me cooking dinner and my head buzzing. So I just started talking to myself. Full on having a full conversation with myself over my dinner. Kind of trying to deconstruct what's happening, which was, this is what I want, but this is what makes me feel unhappy. What if I tried looking at life this way? Would I feel more happy? 2 things I came to the conclusion of. No matter if I got 1,000 followers tomorrow, I would feel really happy for about 2 days. About 2 or 3 days, and then work mode would kick in, or like the what's next that happens in Rachel's head would kick in, and that wouldn't make me happy anymore. It's never going to be enough. It is never going to be enough, is what I realized. So how am I going to sustain myself if literally it's never going to be enough? I'm never going to be happy. And I did not like that idea of never being happy. So I continued to talk to myself over making my dinner. Thankfully, my housemate was not home at the time. And the second conclusion that I came to was that it cannot be about me. It is not always about me. Because when it's about me, there is so much tied in with that. There is ego and insecurity and desire and want and then need and then blah, 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 that just... It can't be about me. I don't know if this will last, but for now it's really helped me that I've started to change my focus to it being about the work. The work sounds like a really pretentious title, but I use the term the work that I do, the dance, the art form that I make. I don't even say to myself my work anymore, because anything that's personal hits on my sensitivity. So what's helped me in the last week is what serves the work. How do I make the best work that I can? And by making the best work that I can is by keeping myself healthy and happy. And when I asked myself that question over and over again, quite literally, my anxiety started to lift and my thoughts started to change, because when I thought about what I did as an external factor, not something that completely is attached to everything that I'm made of, the work is there and I do things over here to make that over there. It completely changed my mindset and it made me feel so much more relaxed because it didn't feel so personal. So that is what I've been thinking about this week. It's not always about you. Ever since I did that, I have just been able to see every single day as a little building block towards making my work better. It makes things so much clearer. It makes things so much clearer because suddenly you can see it as not something that is all about people liking you. And it's more about joining the thousands and millions of people around the world who just make beautiful things or who do good things, and joining that whole spectrum. And it makes a lot more sense in my head. So I wanted to share that today because there's no need to make it so personal. In my opinion, anyway. Makes things a lot less egocentric and ego-driven when you think, what's the work that needs to be made? What kind of ideas do I have? And then how do I make that come into play? Then when your work is made and it's there and it's out there, it's also, for me, important to just kind of walk away from it rather than to stare at it and see how everyone is reacting to it, because that also gets super like blah, 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 and then it just doesn't serve the work when you're like thinking about what everybody thinks about the thing that you did. Really, you should be like, cool, I did the best that I could with that thing. I'm gonna move on now to the next thing. And one day you'll just make the most beautiful stuff you can. I hope. So that was on my brain. The only thing that's been on my brain all month. And finally I got it out. Not very articulately, but hopefully one of you understood where I was coming from. If you enjoyed this video, you can like, you can subscribe, you can ring the little bell that gives you all the notifications, you can share it with your friends, and you can follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and Snapchat. Remember, you are who you choose to be. And if anybody has any comments or things they'd like to share, how they feel about the work that they make, and if anything resonates, please tell me in the comments. Yeah, have a beautiful day.